They say dreams are fragile things in a city like Tokyo, where towers shimmer and the crowds surge forward, all business, no time for stories. I first learned that lesson on a brisk March afternoon, sitting in a cramped bedroom in Ota, back hunched against my futon, staring at the hard blue-white glow of my phone. Outside, energy pulsed, the distant trains, a sharp cry from the street. Inside, my world capsized with every swipe. The video had been up for barely 2 hours, it already had 10,000 views. A classmate's voice sang out, mocking. Yuto Sano, the next Kurosawa, can here he comes with his phone cam and neon lights. Laughter. Someone zoomed in on my wall. Beneath a battered Godzilla print hung my storyboard scribbled kanji stick figures. The narrator changed tones. Then, Yuto spent 10 years in his room and nobody watched his movies except maybe his mom. Wait, not even her. The comments fluttered. Why not get a real job? TikTok would suit you better, just saying. Is this art or just trash? In the corner, the clip caught my mother at the door, a shadow pinned with disappointment. She never hid it before. Now she didn't need to. 1,000 strangers watched her frown live. My phone vibrated. K-Suk, my best friend, fellow film geek from middle school, texted, "Don't let it get to you." But by the next afternoon, he went silent. For 2 days I holed up except to use the toilet. My little sister Mickey played the video for her friends, giggling in low tones. At dinner, my mother spoke carefully, measuring every word. My father's silence was louder than any of them. His stare, cold over salted mackerel, said what no one voiced: "You embarrassed us." Sometimes anger burned through me, so strong I wanted to smash my camera or tear up my storyboards. Instead, I sat at the laptop, hitting play on my unfinished short film. Shaky footage, Shibuya at night, rain puddles gleaming with city lights. A silhouette crossed the scramble, lost among everyone and no one. I paused the video. My hands shook. I hated that I cared, yet I couldn't help it. Still, I filmed. If you want to become a filmmaker in Tokyo without money or a name, you learn quickly. No one's waiting for you, and no one gives you permission. In the weeks after the video, I tried the normal life. Shaved, bought a new shirt, applied for office jobs, recited lies at interviews. I want to help build a great team. The words clung to my teeth. Nobody called back. Maybe they'd seen the video too. Spring arrived. Sakura petals clung to gutters, pink, white, drifting in swirls. Instead of parties under the trees, I wandered alleys with my camera, chasing that flicker of beauty and loneliness. I got night shifts at the convenience store, cleaned, stacked shelves. After work, I filmed. Sometimes I found actors, baristas, vapors in Shinjuku's smoky corners. I paid with lunch, train fare, a chance to be seen. Most people declined, but a handful came. They always looked at me with suspicion, as if waiting for a punchline. At home, Mickey's friends stopped visiting. My mother's voice lost its music. At dinner, my father asked about jobs, never films. My anger became resolve. I saved for better gear, pored over tutorials, read scripts old and new. Night became my writing time after trains stopped and the city lost its mask. Nearly 3 years went by. I turned 25 the night I finished my first serious short, A Neon Blur Dream, a salaryman trapped in memory. I ditched my last bonus on festival submission fees, mostly to small international shows. Japanese ones wanted safe bets, not outsiders. Nothing happened for almost a year, but I kept going. I wrote a feature, unresolved and raw, called Kakurimono, Hidden One. Just as I was running out of money again, an email snuck into my spam folder. "We're happy to inform you Meguri has won Best Short, Experimental, Los Angeles Japanese Film Festival." I laughed, stunned. I hadn't even checked results. I told my mother. She only frowned. "Don't get your hopes up. These things are random." I mass texted the good news. 4 likes, one old college friend joked. "Congrats, major otakus." Still other festivals said yes. A tiny Canadian festival, then something in Berlin. Slowly I gained a following, mainly outsiders, film kids who saw something familiar in my struggle. At 27 I left Tokyo, camera, lenses, clothes shoved into one old suitcase. A distributor from Singapore wanted Kakurimono. No one saw me off. My mother handed me a bento. "Don't embarrass yourself, call us sometimes." Singapore, dense heat, sudden rain, a city new and full of appetite. The crew, young freelancers, gave me careful respect. The budget was tiny. We hustled between sets, living on street noodles. I rewrote scenes on the fly. The lead actor quit, shouting about his character's motives. I panicked, rewrote, recast, and shot the scene myself. Nights I stared at the ceiling in my rented room, worry stitching my muscles as news came from home, Dad's health, Mickey's college exams, my mother's clipped emails. Somehow we finished. Kakurimono was rough, barely held together, but it was alive in a way nothing else I'd made was. Months passed, silence, then one call broke everything open. Venice, we were in. I cried for hours, then scrounged up enough to fly there, wore a borrowed suit. After the screening, applause, gentle at first but real. A French reviewer called it raw and urgent. A streaming company wanted to talk. That first special mention wasn't much, but it caught attention. Word came back to Tokyo, emails from film students, a magazine asking for an interview. Ota's outcast finds his way abroad, one headline read. I watched the viral video again, my stammer, my mother's scowl, the laughter. Victory felt strange and flat, no word from my family, just empty silence. I kept moving. I drifted Berlin, Taipei, then home to Tokyo on a shoestring film contract. Commercial gigs filled my days, but I kept my own work alive at night. My name began to spread in small corners. Not in my neighborhood, not among my old classmates, but at late screenings, in subdued film journals, in the emails from strangers. I didn't care when a reviewer called my work too Western, too aggressive. The films spoke for themselves. Then 2 years ago, Tokyo's Film Festival called. My new film, Mugen Kaiden, would be this year's closing night feature. I read the email again and again. It was what I'd once only daydreamed. Alone in a rental, I let myself cry, then work. The festival approached, posters hung in Shibuya, my name, the actors' faces, bold black hangul, neon in drizzle, rain washing the city clean again. Sometimes I'd drift by and touch the poster, not sure if it was real. 10 days before the screening, I called home. My mother answered, voice thin and formal. I'm showing a film at the festival, I said, the closing feature. A silence. Is that important? It's Tokyo, the biggest festival here. My father got on. Will the TV be there? I nodded even though he couldn't see. They'll all be there. He grunted, we'll see. I ended the call, my throat tight. The morning of the premiere, rain glazed the city silver. I dressed slowly, checking each breath. A black car waited, my name in white on the placard. The driver nodded, congratulations, Sano-san. Traffic crawled, displays flashing my title above the snarl of everyday ads. Friends texted me, see you at the red carpet, even Keisuke. Proud of you, Yuto. When I saw myself in the window, older, sharper, tired but alive, I almost smiled, not that awkward boy anymore. At the theater, the crowd pressed in, fans, reporters, festival officials. I caught sight of Mickey, lipstick fresh, wearing nerves tight, and beside her my mother, mouth a thin line, and my father in a black suit, stiff as wood. Inside, lights burned against velvet. Teachers, strangers, old classmates, everyone kept a measured distance. Only Mickey threw her arms around me, laughing. You look skinny, my mother said. We saw you on TV, Mickey chimed in. My mother frowned. You shouldn't embarrass us in interviews. I grinned, no promises. My parents sat middle row. I stood near the stage, heart thudding. The MC recounted my journey, outcast, viral joke, returnee. The audience applauded, low and drawn out. As my film began, I watched my family's silhouettes, tense then slackening as the story unfolded. Mugen Kaiden was hard and unyielding. A woman haunted by her mother's ghost, Tokyo's steel rain swallowing them both. The audience was restless at first, but as pain and love cut through the screen they stilled. The credits rolled, my name glowed alone. Applause started polite, then grew into thunder. I was called to stage, flashes popped. What would you say to your doubters? Someone asked. How did your family shape all this? The MC smiled. Are your family here? I nodded, throat thick. A camera swept to them, projecting my parents, my mother shivering, eyes wide, my father gripping the armrests, Mickey's smile shining onto the huge screen. The room quieted. The MC asked my mother to say a few words. She rose, tiny and trembling, Mickey at her arm. She reached me on stage, so much smaller up close. She faced the crowd, then looked into my eyes. Everyone said my son was wasting his time, even I doubted. But tonight I see his spirit, I see his truth. She bowed, deep and silent. A shock rippled through the theater. My father met my gaze and nodded, hands trembling. In the sharp glare of stage light, with memory and mockery crashing behind me, I stood as someone new. Afterward, people gathered, neighbors, teachers, even the boy from the video who bowed, abashed. My father waited by the exit, eyes wet. He said quietly, you made us see what we missed. Forgive us, Yuto. Mickey giggled, tugging my hand. Big brothers, now you're buying dinners. So we did, yakitori, cold beer, laughter sliding over old wounds. My family hesitant then closer, a circle mending itself. Later, as Tokyo exhaled under the first light, I found myself beneath the railway bridge, camera in hand. Rain glazed neon across the empty streets. I breathed in, let the city's sharp, hopeful air fill my lungs. Some dreams are tested hard before they're real. Mine survived despite them all. At last, as dawn broke at my feet, I turned homeward, ready to film a new beginning.